Did you know that in the snake trading community, a snake can be more expensive due to the pattern on their scales? Some of the cheapest snake morphs you can buy are for the common corn snake, and most of these will run you less than $100. However, some snake morphs can be pretty pricey. A sunset ball python costs 5 figures, being priced at $70,000. And that isn't even the most expensive snake morph. That title belongs to the blue morph green tree python. This mutation changes the hue of the typically green tree python to a neon blue, and purchasing a snake with this genetic morph will cost you $445,800. That number is staggering, and I can sure as hell bet that a lot of you think paying that much money for a small cosmetic change is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, seriously, what's the point in paying that much money for a small change to a pattern? Foreshadowing. Skins have kind of dominated the video game world for the past couple of years, and I guess that makes me part of the problem. But I mean, come on. We all like to indulge ourselves in a little game of digital dress-up every now and then. Girls had Barbies, boys had CSGO Lotto. But if you want to acquire the flashiest, most gaudy skins in gaming and take your digital style to the next level, it's gonna take a lot of work. And I don't mean in the sense of unlocking cosmetics through improving at the game. That's gone the way of the dodo bird. What I mean is the amount of work it takes to pry open your wallet and pay for them. So, let's go over the most expensive skins in video game history. I guarantee you will be shocked by the end of this video. But, before we get to the really expensive stuff, let's start at the beginning. If the price of video game skins was to be represented as a mountain, then let's start at ground level. In 2006, Bethesda released a DLC for Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and if you're a fan of the franchise, I bet you can tell where this is going. The DLC was a simple pack of armors that you could put on your horse. This DLC caused a huge uproar in the gaming community, forcing the players to pay such an extravagant amount of money for what amounted to a tiny amount of cosmetic offerings. What steep price could have caused the community to get up in arms over elegant equestrians? $2.50. And to the 2006 gaming community's defense, it is kind of outrageous to be spending that much on virtual horse armor. But I live in the year 2023, and I can confidently say that it gets a lot worse than horse armor. Let's flash forward to the present and the release of Overwatch 2. This game has some of the most overpriced, useless items I've ever seen in a video game, and it puts the horse armor to shame. Take, for instance, this weapon charm of a Pachimari mascot. The in-game price for the charm is 700 Overwatch coins. However, there is no option to buy just 700 Overwatch coins, only 1,000. So the price of this virtual keychain is $10. And to put that into perspective, Blizzard sells a physical recreation of this same charm that is significantly cheaper than its virtual counterpart. $10 for a virtual plastic keychain. We're already putting the horse armor to shame. But things get really ridiculous when you get to the character skins. The standard price for a legendary skin in Overwatch 2 is $20. Now, I've ranted about Overwatch 2's monetization plenty in my other videos. But in this competition for the most expensive video game skin, we still haven't even scratched the surface.
For every kill you get, I'll give you an ooh.
Alright, bet.
Valorant, the game that you know is a Counter-Strike copy, and the game I know for terrible TikToks that make me want to rip my eardrums out.
Every kill you get, I'll give you an ara.
Alright, bet.
Valorant is host to plenty of expensive cosmetics ranging in price, but the most expensive skins can run you as much as $100. Take, for instance, the Elder Flame bundle that transforms your guns into literal dragons. It's neat. I don't know if it's $100 neat, but it's neat. All I know is that if I saw someone using this in-game, I mean, I'd give him an RR for every kill he got. Now we've entered the triple digits mark and are finally on our way to making our way up the mountain. Apex Legends heirlooms are cosmetic replacements for each character's melee weapon. While you could technically get one for free, if you want to save a couple thousand hours of tedious grinding and just use the credit card cheat code, it's gonna cost a pretty penny. In Apex, you are guaranteed to get an heirloom for every 500 in-game packs you open. The price it costs to open 500 packs for a guaranteed heirloom is $439.95. Suddenly, the 1,000-hour grind isn't sounding so bad. But if buying $400 worth of loot crates for a skin sounds steep, then the Galaxy skin in Fortnite is even steeper, as you had to buy a whole ass phone to get this skin. In order to get the Galaxy Fortnite skin, you needed to spend $900 or more to get a Samsung phone or tablet. The only way to attain the skin now is by purchasing the account from someone who has it. In fact, there's a whole Fortnite black market for account selling. So, if you want the Galaxy skin, you're gonna have to be prepared to break Fortnite law. Today, this skin could fetch over $1,000, pushing us over the 4-digit mark. We are still nowhere close to the most expensive skin, yet the number we're at makes the Horse Armor DLC look like pocket change. For the price of this one Fortnite skin, you could buy the Horse Armor DLC 400 times over. Rust is another game with its fair share of expensive skins, and some of these can run you 4 figures, such as the Punishment Mask. Throughout the video, you'll notice that the most expensive skins are oftentimes the most rare, and one way for an item to become scarce is through the power of copyright law. The Punishment Mask here was added to the in-game store, but 3 hours after it was added, the Punishment Mask was removed from the shop due to copyright issues. Gee, I wonder why. In total, only 300 or so Punishment Masks were sold during the short time it was in the store, leading it to become one of the rarest items in Rust. Today, the Punishment Mask is valued at approximately $1,800. And apparently the Rust developers did not learn their lesson, because 2 years later, they added the Metal Tree Door to the game. This item contained stolen artwork, and a DMCA takedown was filed over it. The item was removed from the store, and today, this wooden door with metal engravings costs roughly $1,800, about the same as the Punishment Mask. I mean, come on. I'm no stranger to spending ridiculous amounts of money on virtual items, but even I'm scratching my head right now wondering why this item is so expensive. It's literally just a wooden door. You can buy like 10 wooden doors in real life if you're that much of a door fanboy. But hey, if you think spending $1,800 on a wooden door is ridiculous, then let's move on to PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The most expensive item in PUBG is the Olive Branch Pan. It's the rarest item in the game, and this piece of customly engraved cookware can cost you $1,900. However, the first one to ever sell on the Steam market sold for just $72. Ouch. But believe it or not, the Olive Branch Pan is somehow not the most expensive pan in video game history. That title belongs to Team Fortress 2. Up until this point in the video, a lot of the skins shown are acquired by buying them from in-game shops or acquired as part of brand deals. But TF2 skins are a bit different. In order to get the good stuff, you don't just have to spend money, you have to get lucky. Because TF2 items are just straight up gambling. And gambling creates scarcity, which increases demand. TF2 is also one of the first games to allow players to trade the items they have amongst themselves, giving the items real-world value beyond the game. Remember the Olive Branch Pan valued at $1,900? Well, that has nothing on TF2's Golden Frying Pan, which is valued at a whopping $6,000. Why is it so expensive? Well, on top of the gaudy gold appearance, it is one of the few weapons capable of turning enemies into a gold statue on death, and it is exceedingly rare. The Golden Pan was added in 2013 as part of the Two Cities update to Man vs. Machine. In order to earn it, you have to spend $4 into a multi-hour campaign. And even if you do that, the chance that you actually receive the pan is insanely rare.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
In the decade since the Golden Frying Pan was added, only 330 of them have ever dropped. So, only 33 pans drop per year on average out of the countless thousands of tours that have been finished. This concoction of gaudiness and scarcity have led it to become one of the most sought after and famous skins in gaming history. And what if I told you it was still a drop in the bucket? See, the Golden Pan is kind of an outlier when it comes to TF2 items. Most TF2 items are actually obtained through the in-game loot boxes. And while some of the items in these cases can cost a lot of moolah, the most expensive and sought-after items are unusuals. Unusual items are special variants of items that add a shiny particle effect to an item. Unusuals are the hardest items to obtain from a case. And while we don't know the exact drop rate of an unusual, it is estimated to be about 1%. Unusuals can come in a wide variety of effects too, and most unusual effects will run you about $20 to $100. But what happens if you get a god-tier effect on the perfect hat? Meet the Burning Flames Team Captain. The Burning Flames unusual effect is widely considered to be among the best in the game, and the Team Captain is one of the most valued hats in the game. When you combine the two together, you get a really expensive hat. Today, the Burning Flames team captain is valued at around $12,350, breaking the 5-figure threshold. I've made a full video on this hat, and if it sounds interesting, I'll have it linked in the description. However, despite the Burning Flames team captain's long legacy as TF2's most sought-after unusual hat, it's not the most expensive. That title goes to the Poisoned Shadow Antlers. This is a very special hat. See, while all the unusual effects in the game are rare, some are even rarer. Some unusual effects could only be unboxed at certain times and can only be obtained through trading for an old one. And some of the most valuable of these limited effects are from the Scream Fortress 5 update. These unusual effects were added for a Halloween update and were only unboxable for a short time before being never made available again. Today, these effects are among the most highly valued and rare, fetching thousands of dollars. The Antlers hat is also a very special piece of headwear. Due to how TF2's loadout system works, it's only possible to wear one unusual hat at a time, as you can't wear 2 hat cosmetics on the same character. However, the Antlers are special because they don't count as a hat, which allows someone to wear more than one unusual effect at a time. Not only that, but the Antlers can be worn on all 9 classes. So, you take the perfect unusual effect, put it on the perfect hat, and you have yourself a hat that is valued at $33,000. That is enough money to buy yourself a brand new car. You could probably have actual antlers implanted into your skull for that kind of money. And as of this video, it is the most expensive TF2 item ever sold. And would you still believe me if I said that this is still nothing? TF2 isn't the only game with unusual items. Valve's MOBA game Dota 2 has a similar system to TF2 with their unusual items. This Wardog with pink flames is one of 4 of a kind, because the pink flames surrounding it are a discontinued effect, making it impossible for there to be more. This is the Ethereal Flame Pink Wardog Courier, and in 2013, it sold for $38,000, beating out TF2's Poisoned Shadow Antlers. Alright, you're not gonna believe where this next one comes from, and I guarantee that even if you did somehow guess where this next one comes from, you'll be blown away by how much this item costs. Did you guys know that of all games, Roblox has a thriving item economy?
You know what? Cover. We're done.
We're not done! Daddy isn't done speaking! You will come back here!
Yeah, I didn't know that either, but apparently there's a whole economy for Roblox items in the millions. Get the kids started early on investing, I guess. But of all the items in Roblox, there's one that is the most coveted and sought after. And that item is the Dominus Frigidus. The Dominus Frigidus is a hat from a collection of similar hats, plurally known as Domini. No, I'm not kidding, I use the Roblox wiki as a reference for this. While all the Domini hats are high in value, the Dominus Frigidus's low supply and high demand have led it to become Roblox's white whale of trading to surpass even the Burning Flames team captain. This hat is worth, and no, I'm not joking, around $87,000. Needless to say, there has had to have been at least like one kid who sold their mom's credit card to buy this hat, and that kid probably got beat until he looked like a goddamn California raisin. So here we are at the top of the mountain. Who would have guessed that Roblox of all games would have had the most expensive video game skin ever sold? Except, it doesn't. We're at the top of the mountain right now, but there's one game left to talk about that will take us into the stratosphere. Counter-Strike is the game with the most expensive skins market ever. The skin market is worth billions, and cases alone make Valve $54 million plus a month. Needless to say, this game is gonna make the Dominus Frigidus look like chump change. The way that skins are acquired in CS is very similar to TF2, by unboxing a case with the rare chance of getting a knife, the most rare items in the game. However, there's some differences compared to TF2. With TF2 hats, there's only 3 variables. The hat in question, whether or not the hat is strange and counts stats, and what effect the hat has if it's unusual. CS skins have a lot more variables, and as we all know, more variables means more chances for scarcity. CS skins have wear conditions, ranging from battle scarred all the way to factory new, that change how beat up a skin looks. They also have a rarity, so a blue skin will be much more common than a red skin. These skins can be stat track, which will count the kills you get with each weapon. Adding value, the skins can also have a float value tied to the weapon's wear condition. Depending on the float you get, it can drastically change a skin's value. Take for instance, this M249 Gator Mesh. This is a mid skin on like the worst weapon in the game. No one likes this skin or weapon, and a factory new variant of this skin costs 23 cents. However, this M249 is special. Remember the float value? Well, this M249 just so happens to have the lowest float value of any skin in the game, which means it has the lowest amount of wear on any skin in the game. This mid skin on a weapon that nobody cares about with one arbitrary number sold for $20,000, more than 87,000 times the base price of the skin. Another variable for CS skins is the pattern. A lot of CS skins have different patterns, so even though you have the same skin as somebody else, your version will look vastly different. For each pattern-based skin, there are 1,000 different variants that you can unbox. Here's one of the most famous patterns that you can get on the 5.7 Kami skin. Yeah, this one's worth about $100. It's far from the most expensive skin on the list, but damn if it ain't the most unique. Oh, and for the boys in the audience, don't worry. There's one for us, too.
Enter Dick Pattern Huntsman! Dick Pattern Huntsman! That's the code Pattern Huntsman!
And the last variable, and I swear this is the last one, is stickers. These little stickers you can put on your gun are their own separate cost, and the most expensive stickers money can buy are the Katowice 2014 capsule stickers. Released to commemorate the 2014 Katowice CSGO Major, this collection of stickers has become highly valued for their legacy and flashy design. The iBuyPower Hollow sticker alone fetches a price of $86,000. Keep in mind, this isn't even a skin. It's something that you put on your skin. And it ain't even the most expensive sticker. The Titan Hollow from the same collection can go for over $90,000. A single Titan Hollow sticker beats out the Dominus Frigidus. And it's just an accessory to put on your gun. Having these stickers on your gun can massively increase its value. For example, a factory new souvenir op Dragon Lore is already in the six-figure mark, valued at $122,000. But that same skin with 4 Titan Hollow stickers is valued at $250,000. That's almost 3 Dominus Frigidi and 100,000 horse armor DLCs. However, there's one specific type of skin in CSGO, where if you can get the perfect pattern, the perfect wear, get all of the variables to be perfect, it can single-handedly make you rich. Let's talk about gems. Case Hardened is a finish that you can get on a variety of different weapons. However, the most desired Case Hardened skins are for the AK-47 and the various different knives. The way the Case Hardened skin works is that this texture is wrapped around the weapon, with different variants wrapping the texture around the model in a different way. In total, there's 1,000 different variants for each different case-hardened skin. Keen-eyed viewers may notice that certain areas of this texture are much more blue. Is it possible for the texture to be wrapped around the model in such a way where the entire model is the blue part of the texture? Yes. This is a blue gem knife. Out of 1,000 different variants of the case-hardened skin, only 1 or 2 blue gem patterns appear on each weapon. These rare blue gem patterns where the entire skin is covered is called a tier 1 blue gem, and they are extremely rare and valuable. Let's break it down. In order to get a blue gem knife, you need to unbox a knife. Unlike TF2's 1% chance of getting an unusual, CS knives are 4 times as rare, a 1 in 400 chance. On top of that, you need to get the case hardened finish out of 12 different finishes. And on top of that, you need to get the 1 pattern out of 1,000 to get a blue gem pattern. That is, bear with me, a 0.00020,83325% chance of getting a blue gem. And that's not even factoring in the wear on the knife or what knife you get. You have better odds of being struck by lightning than unboxing a blue virtual knife. Blue gems are so insanely rare that only a couple exist for each different case-hardened skin. and even fewer exist in good condition. However, for the insanely lucky few who beat the odds and unbox a blue gem, they have hit the jackpot. This factory new blue gem skeleton knife is valued at $100,000. This nomad knife, famously used by professional player Simple during a major tournament, costs $120,000. One of the weapons with the case-hardened finish is the AK-47, and the tier 1 blue gem on this skin is pattern number 661, famously known as the Scar pattern. There exists a factory new, stat track, blue gem AK with 4 Titan hollow stickers. This is the perfect skin. The perfect wear with the perfect pattern with the perfect stickers. This skin is worth $400,000. You could buy a house with that money. A good house. But there's still one more skin that's even more expensive than this. A skin way more expensive than this. And that skin is also a blue gem. This is the tier 1 blue gem Karambit pattern 387. This is a one-of-a-kind item. It is the only factory new blue gem Karambit in existence. The Karambit is among the most desired knives in the game, and this blue gem is one of the few where the entire blade is covered with blue with absolutely 0 spots of orange. This Karambit is currently in the backpack of a private collector, and only a select few people have even attempted to bargain for it. One time, a trader tried to go through OnePixel, a respected CSGO streamer. The trader asked One to present their offer to the owner of the blue gem Karambit. That offer was for $1.5 million. It was rejected for being too low. Today, people estimate that this single virtual knife's value is over $2 million. Screw buying a single house. With that money, you could buy a mansion. You could buy a fancy sports car. You could buy like 50,000 physical recreations of that same knife. You could buy 800,000 horse armor DLCs. This is by far the most expensive video game skin of all time. Nothing even comes close to the sheer magnitude of cash it would take to buy this thing. So the next time you buy a ridiculously overpriced video game skin, just remember that it could always be worse. Perhaps I've treated you too harshly. Never mind, you still suck. You know, I think there's a lesson to be learned in all of this. And that lesson is that people really like the color blue.